So hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Lakshay here. So today we are gonna solve our lead code question number 160, which says intersection of two linked list. So let's first read down this question. It says, given the head of two singly linked lists, head A and head B, return the node at which the two lists intersect. If the two lists have no intersection at all, return null. Okay. So in this question, what we have to return is that we have given two lists. One is this, and second is this, and second one is this, and we have to return their intersection point, which is 8 in this case. And what we have given, there is a intersectional equals to 8, which means it's our value basically that's here. And list A like this, and list B, which is this, and a skip A equals to 2, which means that list A having 2 element, and a skip B 3 means list B have 3 element before intersection. So this all information is kind of rubbish. We don't need them. We just need a list here. So let's take this example. It says 4 1 8 4 5. Okay, here null. And what's here is 5 6 1 here. And here is head A and here is head B. So how can we find our middle element? For that, first of all, we will check if either our head A is equals to null or our head B is equals to null. If any of this case is true, then we will simply return our null, because if any of the list is null, that means we cannot find the intersection because one is already null. So if that's not the case, what we will do? So at the first point, we will declare two pointers, that is temp1, which will be at head A, and temp2, which will be at head B. Cool. And till our head A, until our temp1 are not get equal, we will keep on iterating. At each step, our temp1 will move to next state, and our temp2 will again move to one step ahead. Okay, now we will check they are not currently meeting. Then again our temp2 move to next position, and our temp1 move to next position. Then like this they will keep on iterating. On fourth step it will reach here, and this will here. On next step it will reach here, and it will reach here. Then again on next step it will reach here, and it will reach here. So now we can see that our temp1 is pointing to null, which means we have iterated this whole loop. Then what we will do, so now we will simply point our temp1 at the head B, means now we will traverse the another list which we have given. So our temp1 will now point here, and it will point to null because it's the second step. Okay, so first now let's clean this. So next step, our temp1 will now point to 6, and our temp2 is now null. Sorry, here was temp2. So now our temp2 is null. So what we have to do now, temp2 will iterate on head A, means now this will go to head A. Okay, temp2. Now what is our list right now? Let's see. First let's erase them. Okay, let's clean down a little bit. So this is our list right now, where this is our temp1 here, and this is our temp2 right now after traversing all through the distance. So what's the next step? We will keep on iterating. On next step our temp2 will move here, and our temp1 will move here. Then on next step our temp1 will move here, and our temp2 will move here. Now we can see that now our both our lists are at the same index, that is 8, and that's our midpoint here. So that's it. We will simply return our 8, that will be our temp1 or temp2. We can return any of the following because they are both pointing to the same pointer, and hence we will get our linked list. Okay, so it's easy, I think. Let's discuss one more time. As we have discussed, our first pointer will keep on traversing like this: first step, second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step. Then it have traversed all this, then it will now traverse the another list. That means sixth step, seventh step, eighth step, and ninth step. On ninth step it will point here. On ninth step it will point here. Okay. Let's change its color. On ninth step it will point here. Cool. Now what's our second pointer will do? It first M2 will be pointing here, then second, then third, then fourth, then fifth, then sixth, then seventh, then eighth, and then ninth. At ninth we can see that it is also pointing here. So we can see that both pointers will meet eventually when we traverse both the list one step by step. Okay, great. So now let's jump to the pseudocode and see how it's happening. So first of all we will check our condition. If our head of A equals to null, or if our head of B is equals to null, then we will simply return null. If not that case, then we will create two pointer, that is temp1 which will point to head of A, and temp2 which will point to head of B. After that we will keep on traversing till our temp1 is not equals to temp2. So when our traversal style, we have to keep this in mind that if our temp1 becomes null, we will point our temp1 to our head of B. Okay, so how we can do that? First of all, if our temp of 1 becomes null, that means we have to put our temp1 equals to head of B. Else, that means our list is not reached null, so we will simply keep on traversing temp1 equals to temp1 dot next. Cool. Then we have to check for temp B, that if temp of B equals to null, then temp of B, then temp2 will point to head of A. Else it means it haven't reached null yet, so we will keep on iterating temp2 equals to temp2 dot next. Then we can see after some point the both pointer will reach at the same node. Then we will simply return our temp either 1 or 2. We can write 1 here. So that's it. That is a pseudocode which tells us about how we can find the intersection point of our two linked list. Okay, so let's discuss the time complexity. So the time complexity for this is big O of m plus n. Supposing m is the size of list 1, list A, and n is the size of list B. Because what is happening here, each time we are traversing both the list. Okay, in both the cases, first our temp1 is traversing here, means m list, m size, then it's traversing n size. Then similarly our temp2 is traversing like this only. First it's traversing the n size, then it's traversing the m size. So in that's why we have the time complexity here big of m plus n, because each time we are traversing are both the list here. So that's it. That's our course question, and here's a pseudocode. You must try this code yourself in the LeetCode. If you face any problem, then I will paste the code below here. So here is the code. It says the same, that first of all we will check the condition, then we will create two pointers, Then we will keep our traversing till our temp1 becomes equals to temp2. Then it will check if temp1 equals to null. Then our temp1 will point to head of p, else our temp1 will move to temp1 dot next. And then similarly the same another condition for temp2, if it reaches null, then our temp2 will equals to head of a, and our temp2 becomes temp2's next. Then at last eventually we will return our temp of a. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.